Okay, so how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. My name is Robert Johnson, and I am presenting to you today about my coffee shop from Biz Cafe, Home Cafe. I just want to open up really quick and talk about how much of a learning experience this was for me. I really did not expect that I would have as many challenges with running a coffee shop as I did in Biz Cafe. Going into it, I was pretty confident. I thought, man, I know that I'm around the business world in some senses, working at an organization that's a nonprofit. And so I'm used to hearing about budgets and marketing strategies and things like that, working with church planners. But competing in the marketplace in a for-profit environment against my other classmates, man, let me tell you, that was one of the most fun and tough things that I've ever experienced. So just to open it up, I wanted to show you really quick. Home Coffee was the name of my coffee shop, and the idea behind that was really based around who my target audience, my target market was. So because I was in a downtown, thriving urban area, and most of the people there were either students or young professionals working, I thought, man, a lot of these people have moved from other places, and having a little piece of home, a place to call home, away from where they're originally from, sounded like such a good idea, good thought process to me, and it would bring some kind of appeal to them, adding value to their lives. So you can see creating home away from home, one cup of coffee at a time was kind of the idea there. Company objectives. So with this, using my business plan, I kind of wanted to throw together some thoughts for you about what our company objectives were, and I really boiled it down to two main points, two main things that we wanted to accomplish during our time, and that was to add value to the customers by providing an incredible coffee and food experience with excellent customer service, and then to compete and become an industry leader through generating positive profits via the sale of our goods and services. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward, those two goals. But again, it's just to add value to the customers. That's really what we wanted to do at the end of the day through offering goods and services, which would be made up of our coffee and food, that's the goods, and then the customer service, which obviously is us preparing those items for them as well. So the startup choices, to be honest, I wish I could go back and do this again. This was one area that I feel like because I started a little bit late getting to those, the decisions were automatically made for me. That was due to a time zone issue. And so I ended up getting the default choices on some of these. I look back at the espresso machine and I was given the Duo, and I really wish I would have gotten the Auto 4. Later I went back and purchased that halfway through the Biz Cafe simulation, but that was something that I think would have helped me early on to produce more coffee in a quicker pace and serve more customers. Furniture, same thing. I think, I got a report halfway through when I upgraded to the green alternative that my customers were pleased and they liked it. I wish I wouldn't have had the hand-me-down stuff given to me, but time zone issues, I learned from that mistake. And then the number of managers, I chose to start with 2, obviously, until we added weekend hours, and then you really need 3 managers to run that. One of the things about managers that I wish I would have done different too is looked closer at what the average pay was. One of the things that I really struggled with in this simulation was my revenue per employee. So I ranked pretty high in some of the other areas, but I had a 10. I was 10th in the competition. Seemed like week in and week out on revenue per employee. And so looking at managers, I think I overpaid some of those guys. Same thing, I probably paid a little bit high on the hourly workers as well. But looking at it, starting out price, just to go there, I started out selling medium cups for $3.50, and you do that about halfway through the simulation working with only medium. And then later I was given the choice to add small and large cups. And so I adjusted my price to fit that a little bit better. Again, I think I performed pretty well on revenue, but it was the other overhead costs that really hurt me. My small cups was $2.95, medium $3.95, large $4.55. Other startup choices was promotion. The 2 that I really leaned on were the 2-for-1 special, and then the 50 cents off. I think they worked pretty well for me. I should have experimented more though with the general awareness, and really I didn't think about trying some weeks with no advertisement. I don't know what kind of return I would have gotten on that. Operation hours, Monday through Friday, from the beginning it was 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then once weekend hours started up, I decided to kind of play with that a little bit on the weekend. And so I went 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I just felt like people start a little bit later on the weekends and they're drinking coffee ends a little bit earlier in the day. They try and just kind of relax and have fun. They're going to go out and have a good time instead of sit at a coffee shop on Saturday or Sunday night. Last round of startup choices was the type of coffee. I decided to go with Good, $6 per pound. I thought that would give me the best return, especially when you consider the cost of goods sold being factored into that. Number of coffee cups. So in the beginning, I did medium cups in quantities of 5,000, and I really did that the same way through with large and small once those were added in. I should have probably ordered in bulk. I think I could have gotten my cost of goods sold down if I would have ordered 20,000 of each size of cup. The quantities going up meant that it was less money per cup. Even if it's just pennies on the dollar, it would have really helped me out there. The balance sheet, so you can see here with the balance sheet, just the assets, liabilities, total equity, and those things combined together. Starting out, just like everybody else, I was given the same opportunities, decisions to make, purchases, things like that would affect my assets as well as the liabilities. And so you can see here, total liabilities and equity at the end was $19,983.26. Looking at the income statement, this is where you can start to see, I would go back and do this simulation again in a heartbeat because I think I could end up doing a lot better here. I started out okay with net income at $2,564.78, but I think ended up in the red, and you'll see that here in the presentation in a second. Wish I could have done that different. So cumulative net profit and profit margin. The net profit, again, I think I did, and in the long run, pretty terrible here, to be honest. Ended up in the negative at $8,356.92 year to date. And that left me with a cumulative net profit margin of negative 13% to date. Started out stronger than that. So again, I would go back, make some better decisions, things I think that could get my cost of goods sold down that would help me. Customer satisfaction rating. This is one category I did pretty good in. I think you can see here I ranked second at the end of the simulation, and I had a 72.5 percentage. That was pretty good. And as you can see, customer satisfaction is the extent to which customers who purchase a product are happy with the product. So me selling good coffee, obviously customers enjoyed it. I didn't need to go to the organic product to do better, and it kept my costs down. Capacity utilization, so 96.7% on that. I ranked 6th in the class. I actually went down in that last week of sales, so I think I probably at some point was a little bit higher. I thought it was interesting looking at the capacity utilization chart. Everyone really kind of was around the same ballpark in that. And I think, for the most part, I did okay in this category, it looks like, compared to the rest of the class. Business concept, share of revenue, and the share of revenue, I had 12.3%. I ranked 4th in the class. This was another area I thought I did okay at. Never ended up in the top 3, but being in the top 4 even was a positive for me there. And then the lessons learned. Really from this, if I took away one thing, it would be if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. My parents used to tell me that all the time, and I could hear them in my head when I went back and reflected on my time in the Biz Cafe. Man, it just really opened my eyes to see that I couldn't trust my gut instincts. I really went into this thinking, even though they told me not to, I could trust my gut and make decisions and I would be okay. If I did this class again, if I did this simulation again, number one, that would be so much fun. And then number two, I would change a lot of the things that I did. Lastly, I wouldn't leave anything to chance, just like I said. So again, had a blast in Biz Cafe. I think if I could get my cost of goods sold down and some of my other overhead costs as well, maybe on marketing, things like that, I would have performed maybe a little bit better in this course. But all in all, even though I ended in the negative, I had a blast. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Again, my name is Robert Johnson. God bless you.